Hey everyone, Jason here. So in the last video, we finished up the PCBs, getting the components soldered onto the boards. In this video, we're going to add in some of the other hardware and start to build out the rest of the system. So the first step is going to be getting the PCBs into the enclosure boxes and making some basic connections and electrical checks to make sure that everything's functioning before we add in some of the other components. So let's get into it. Okay, so here's our first PCB in the enclosure box. I've gotten these heavy-duty enclosure boxes that are sealed, which is going to be important because these will be outside in the brewing environment that's going to be pretty hot and humid, especially during the summer. Let's go ahead and get that opened up, and you can see inside here. So it is elevated off of the backing board just to make sure that there is some space behind it so that airflow can get back there. That's going to be really critical to make sure that the board doesn't overheat. So next up, you can see I've added in some of the microprocessing boards onto here. This one's actually going to be doing a lot of the functioning, the math and collecting data, controlling circuits. This one is a Wi-Fi Bluetooth adapter so that I can connect this thing to the internet, and that's going to be critical for storing data and actually controlling and updating the dashboard that I plan on building out. So first of all, just the way that this is going to function is on the side here, you can see I've added in a switch just for some extra safety, as well as my first port here, which is going to be for the power in. The power is going to be provided just by this 19 volts AC to DC converter. So this is just what a typical laptop would use actually. And my total circuit's going to pull about 3 amps at 19 volts. So that's going to be plenty of power from this thing. So going on to the inside here, you can see all I've done at this point is just get the power connection ready. I haven't done anything else because all I want to do at this point is verify that the power will work and power up correctly. And what I mean by that is, so I've got 19 volts coming in. My circuits actually use 12 volts and 5 volts. So these two components here that you can see the heat sinks on, those are 19 to 12 volt converters. And the reason I have two is because I'll need 6 amps total at 12 volts. And each one of those can handle 3 amps each at 12 volts. So two of them in parallel will give me the 6 amps that I need. There's another converter here that doesn't have a sink because it's not needed. This one is will convert the 12 volts down to 5 volts, and that will power the rest of the circuits. So the microprocessors, as well as the various sensors and control circuits that I have going out here. So these are all the 5 volt circuits. These over here are the 12 volt circuits for the pump and the solenoids that are controlling the water flow. Okay, so next steps, we're going to get it powered up and take some readings just to show you how it works. Okay, so first thing, let's get this turned on and just take some measurements here so you can see what's going on. First, we're going to do the power coming in to make sure the readings are right. And you can see we're right at about 19 volts, just over, which is what we want. Okay, so next up, let's go ahead and check the 5 volt circuit. A little bit tricky to get in here. There we go. Okay, so we're just right at about 5 volts, exactly what we want. And we can go ahead and check these circuits as well. So again, just under 5 volts, which is what I would expect. So these circuits are being, they do have power supplied to them, but obviously they're not on right now. So we're just basically checking that the power is available. So really just making sure that they're ready to go. So let's check the 12 volt circuits here. And you can see very close to 12 volts, similar to the 5 volts on each of these circuits. So yeah, so that's a really great sign. That's a good indication that so far everything is working as it should. The power is being supplied correctly and converted correctly, and that each port has power available to it. You can also see the lights turned on for the Wi-Fi module. another good sign that it's powered up, ready to go. I don't have any of the software written yet. That'll be probably 2 videos from now. Next video will be building out the rest of the box, showing the completed setup. And then after that, pretty soon it's going to be getting into the software, developing the control systems and data collection. And at that point, we'll start adding in the additional sensors and things like that and doing troubleshooting. So it's a really great milestone here. We've come a long way. We've got our main control box here powered up correctly, and so that's actually a huge hurdle that we just crossed. The next part after we get some of the software done is going to be checking the individual circuits with the components, and once we can verify that those work, then we know that our system is basically ready to go, and then we can just focus on the troubleshooting, as I said, with the sensors to make sure that we're collecting the data correctly, to make sure that we're interpreting it correctly, and then also after that it's going to be uploading it to the cloud, where we're going to get into more of that type of thing and doing some advanced analytics and advanced controls based on that. So that's it for this video. Like I said, in the next video we'll show the finished product and go on to the next steps.